up, guys? It's Will here from W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we got this 2021 Nissan Altima SR.
Alright guys, before we start, I would like to give a huge thank you to the staff here at Jenkins Mitsubishi here in Lakeland, Florida. These guys are extremely kind and knowledgeable, and they're always looking to make deals. So if you're looking for a high quality vehicle for the best possible price, I would definitely check out Jenkins Mitsubishi here in Lakeland, Florida.
So for those of you guys who don't know, the Altima is Nissan's mid-size sedan, and it's a very good selling vehicle. It's been one of the best sellers in the segment behind the Toyota Camry and of course the Honda Accord. But this is a newer design. This vehicle has been around since 1992, so it has been around for quite a long time. But now we have a 2-liter VC, which stands for variable compression, turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. So this engine makes about 258 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. So it'll power this vehicle very well. It does have a CVT transmission. However, these new CVTs are very impressive. So they do have gear ratios. So expect 0 to 60 to be between 5.7 and 6 seconds. A lot of people get these things to 60 in around 5.5 seconds even. So this thing is not slow. It's a very quick vehicle, matched with some pretty stiff chassis support. So it's gonna have pretty good handling. But all in all, let's finish this brief little walk around and start off in the front. So here you have your really nice LED headlights. You have a projector bulb over here with LED bulbs over there as well. You have a nice daytime running strip. However, everything is really bright, not the most aggressive design. However, next to the lights, you do have a smoked out chrome trim that wraps around your lights all the way around your grille. So cool little design touch. I like how they smoked it out, didn't make it super shiny chrome. It would be nice if this material over here was the same shade of chrome as that, but not a big deal. Down here you have your turn signal. I don't like this huge empty gap. It would be nice if they gave you either a air curtain or a fog light, but not a big deal. I guess it looks pretty cool. Gives you a nice little honeycomb appearance. But continuing down, you see how you got nice little wings over here. Down here definitely makes the front end much more aggressive. Definitely a fan of that. But continuing along over here, you got your honeycomb grille in front of your intercooler. And if you can notice, you do have a nice chassis support over there as well. Over here, you're gonna have your panel that houses your advanced safety features with your Nissan badge in front. And I don't know if you guys can tell through the camera, but this paint is absolutely gorgeous, guys. Check out that beautiful dark gray. Fantastic metallic. But anyway, let's continue alongside over here. Of course, same thing over here as well, but let's check out this wheel and tire setup. So you got very nice rims. They're not the most stylish design. They're pretty plain Jane in the design, but the color scheme works very well. You got your blacked out trim over here with silver on the outside. I definitely like the rims. They're wrapped in 235/40 R19 Hankook Kinergy GT tire. But anyway, let's continue alongside over here. Check out this mirror. It's not color matched. It is going to be blacked out. Not a big deal. It looks pretty good with this contrast in color. And of course, you got your mirror itself. So this vehicle does have smart access, but only for the driver. It doesn't carry along for your passengers, but you can just press this button, unlock the car, and open it right up. And of course, press the button, the car locks right up. But continuing alongside, of course, you got the same wheels down here. You don't get a push to open gas tank, but I'll show you guys where the latch is once we step inside. But continuing along over here, you got your LED taillights with turn signal right here. But still, guys, this paint is absolutely beautiful. I'm a big fan of this paint. If I was gonna get this car, this would definitely be the color that I would choose. But anyway, I like this little plate over here. It'll help you not scratch your vehicle when you throw stuff in the trunk. And you got your VC turbo badge along with your SR badge. But let's take a step back, check out this rear end. Nice. So I like the dual exhaust setup too. Very aggressive. But that's about it for the exterior on this 2021 Nissan Altima SR with a VC turbocharged engine. So how about we start her up and hear how she sounds. Okay guys, so that was of course the sound of Nissan's 2-liter VC turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. So let's take a look and see what we got over here once we can figure out how to open this hood. But one thing I'm not a fan of is we don't have struts. So we have to deal with a prop rod. So I'm gonna position my elbow so you guys can see this process. Oops, there you go. All right, so there you have it. There's your VC turbocharged engine. It's labeled right there. You got your intake over here. Batteries on the driver's side. That's unfortunate, but not a big deal. The chassis does have pretty stiff supports, and you have a strut tower brace that runs alongside the front. So it'll be interesting to see how this vehicle handles. We'll take this car for driving a little bit. So this engine makes 258 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. So you can expect 0 to 60 to be between 5.5 seconds and 6 seconds. It's a very quick car. It's unfortunate that you're mating this engine with a CVT transmission. However, CVTs from Nissan have gotten a lot better over the years, and they do have gear ratios now. So you can definitely feel changes in torque as you accelerate, which is nice. But let's shut this engine up and take a look at the interior on this 2021 Nissan Altima SR. All right, guys, so taking a step inside of this 2021 Altima SR, you are going to have soft touch materials up here in the upper part of the dash with a nice little trim piece over here. It's not carbon fiber, but it is a nice little faux trim piece, so pretty cool. The soft touch continues underneath. Over here, it is going to be hard touch, but you got leather stitch trim with very, very soft padding over here. Same thing over here for your armrest, extremely soft padding, so definitely impressed overall. The same carbon fiber faux trim. You don't have power one touch for all 4 passengers, but you do get it for your driver, so that is nice. And this window is extremely thick, so it'll definitely keep a quiet ride. But coming down over here, you have pretty good storage capabilities. You can easily fit a 12-ounce bottle of water over there. But take a look at these seats. So these seats are absolutely wonderful. So they got very good bolstering supports. However, they're not very tight. So for somebody that's like me, I'm 6 foot, 185. They're not very tight for me. They're not the most supportive seats, but they're extremely comfortable. So if you're a large person, you can definitely fit comfortably in these seats. And they do have cloth inlets over here, so microfiber inlets. So they're not going to get hot in the summer. That's great. And they're also going to be softer for the areas that you're going to be using more. So for your butt and your back, you're going to have softer supports with stiffer leather over here that'll actually keep you in place in your seat. So great seat design, extremely, extremely comfortable. But let's step inside this Altima SR. All right, so let's turn this air down in case the audio is affected. But check out the steering wheel, guys. So it's a flat bottom steering wheel. You got absolutely perfect 9-3 slots for your hands. Let's turn this down one more notch. The 10-2 bolstering extensions are extremely thick. The 10-2 location for your hand is perfect. The steering wheel is pretty thick. It's not as thick as the Outlander, the 2022 Outlander, but it's right up there. Very similar design overall. You don't have the same spoke for your hands down here, but you can still put your fingers over here, I guess, if you want to drive with your elbow on the armrest. Not a big deal. Overall, excellent steering wheel. And as we'll see once we take this car for a drive, the steering feel is also extremely impressive, guys. So for an electric power steering rack, it's one of the best I've ever driven, guys. It's very close to a hydraulic system. So overall, very impressive. If you can check out inside of there, of course, you got your analog tachometer with your analog speedometer that goes to 180. I don't think this car can reach 180, but it's pretty cool that they give you the 180 on the dash. But I don't even have 180 on the dash for my Camaro LT1, but that's besides the point. So you got the boost gauge over here. It goes all the way to 30 psi. So no, this vehicle does not make 30 pounds of boost, but it does get close to 20. So you're going to be producing quite a bit of boost. And over here, you can also see your compression ratio, and it goes from eco to the top in terms of how much gas pedal you use. But it's really cool because, like we said, this is a variable compression engine. So it's cool to actually see how the compression actually varies. But that's besides the point, guys. Let's check out a couple of the settings that we have in here. So you got your trip settings, of course. You got your PSI for your tires, and you got your turbo settings. So that's about it. You also have your Bluetooth audio. You got your lane departure warning. You got your full, it's not a 360 camera, but it's a 360 sensing system that will beep and alert you if there's vehicles that are close to you. But regardless, you got your settings that you can adjust what you see. We're not going to go into it too much. And you do have a digital speedometer, so that's really cool. Nice feature to have as well. Let's see if we have anything else. You got your average fuel economy, you got your turbo gauge. So we'll keep it over here for our boost and compression gauge. We may check out the digital speedometer too, but not a big deal. Continuing over here, I didn't mention the dash yet. So this dash is completely leather wrapped. Over here, it's extremely soft leather on top of your actual dashboard. So this dashboard is very soft, very impressive. It's definitely softer than the armrest of my Camaro LT1. Behind that, you are going to have some more hard plastic. You are going to have a hard plastic frame. That's to be expected. No one's ever going to be touching that. But the soft touch materials are the same over here. It's not leather wrapped, but it is stitched. It's stitched soft plastic, so overall high quality material. That material also continues down here, and you have a nice brushed aluminum trim that carries right above your air vents. Well, right below these air vents. So you do have your air vents over here. You get your hazards, but one thing you don't get is, one second, oops. So you don't get automatic climate controls in this car. Not a big deal. I usually manually adjust my climate anyway, but it's odd that they don't offer it in this vehicle. But like I said, not a big deal. You continue down. You do have heated seats. So you may not get automatic climate, but you do have heated seats. I may be missing the automatic climate, so if I am, just let me know in the comment section. But from the first glance, you don't see it over here in the climate control settings. But you come along down over there, you got your USB-C port, you got your USB cord, and you got an aux cord. You don't see aux cords very often in vehicles anymore. But over here you got your little power port for a cigarette lighter or radar detector, but we'll shut that up. So while we're here, let's just check out this glove box. It is damped, of course. It's not lined with felt, but overall you can fit quite a bit of stuff in here. But let's go over here. So you got your cup holders. They are rubberized. The material over here is consistent with the door panel. It's not the real carbon fiber, but it looks pretty cool. But anyway, over here you have a nice tray. You could throw some coins in here, and it's very, very rubberized. So the stuff's not going to be flying around, so nice to have. And over here, you got your nice high quality shifter. You got buttons over here too, so I'm not really sure what they do, but we'll figure that out once we actually put the car in drive. So of course you got park, reverse, neutral, drive with low gear. Over here, you got your engine start button right here as well. And you do have paddle shifters on the steering wheel, if I didn't mention. And the paddle shifters are very large. They're plastic, of course, but they are large. So since this vehicle does have gear ratios, it's nice to have paddle shifters as well. But over here, you got your trunk release, you got your odometer settings. But down here, so like I mentioned, you don't have a push to open gas cap. So this will open up your gas cap. There's your hood release and your emergency brake. But that's about it for the front seat, guys. I know I didn't mention this infotainment setup, but it's basic infotainment setup. You got your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You got your connections, you got Bluetooth. You can adjust your camera. You can adjust your sound settings, you know, the business. You got your audio over here. You got your Bluetooth and phone connections. So cool infotainment setup. We're just gonna leave it in the standard setting. Of course, you get your clock. It tells you what the temperature is outside. But that's about it for the front seat on this 2021 Altima SR. Very nice interior, very comfortable seats, and an absolutely fantastic steering wheel. But let me know if there actually is automatic climate control in this car, because it's kind of weird that it doesn't have it. But again, not a big deal. But overall, super impressive front seat in this Altima SR. So let's check out the back seat and see if someone that's 6 feet tall can sit there behind my seat settings. Okay, so stepping in the back. All right, so stepping in the back seat on this Altima SR, unfortunately the soft plastic on the top part of the dashboard does not continue for the back seat, but the graining material is nice. The hard plastic continues down here, but you do get some nice faux leather trim down here with the continued armrest from the front. So this is very high quality. Definitely impressed with a little bit of storage here and your faux carbon fiber. You do get aluminum door handle, so that's nice with very good storage capabilities down here. But check out these seats. So just like the front, you got cloth inlets down here. That's very nice, especially in Florida, because these seats get extremely hot when they're completely leather, especially when they're black. But over here, you got the bolsters that go all the way to the door frame. So huge bolstering extension is going to be very comfortable, very couch-like back here. But let's take a step inside of this Altima SR and see how much space we got for me. So being 6 foot, sitting behind my seat settings, I still got at least 5-6 inches of legroom. I can lounge back here where my butt's barely even on the seat anymore, and I still have room for my legs. So in terms of space, definitely can't complain. You got your door handle, not door handle, you just got a grab handle right there. You do get mat pockets behind your driver and your passenger seat. You don't get vents, that's unfortunate, but not a big deal. We didn't check out this armrest. I know I missed that, but it's very soft leather, it's stitched, and you can fit quite a bit of stuff in there too. I'm going to show you guys in there. So it's not the deepest. You're probably not going to be able to fit a six-pack in here, but that's not necessarily necessary. You can fit a six-pack in terms of space. It's just not deep enough to accommodate it. But overall, very good glove box, plenty of space, very good legroom too. This legroom back here is very impressive. You got a nice armrest right here too. There's no strings, so you're going to have to jab your fingers in between. But it goes all the way down. It's very thick. It's very soft. Very high quality leather, and the cup holder is not rubberized, but not a big deal. Let's shut this thing up. Take a look down here. So we got your USB port with USB-C port. So nice for your passengers, but that's about it for the back seat on this 2021 Altima SR with the 2-liter turbo engine. So let's just check out the trunk real quick, see how much space we got back there, and then take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this trunk. Of course, you got your button down here. You can also open it up through the key, but there you have it. So look at this. So your opening back here is absolutely massive, similar to the TLX, similar to the Camry. Huge opening on these sedans. And now that we're in here, you do have good depth. It definitely comes in about 5-6 inches, and the overall trunk space, very impressive. And the seats do fold down 60-40 split, so you can fit just about anything you need back here. So let's just shut this trunk, take a step back, and let's take this car for a drive. All right, guys, so now that we've just about seen everything there is to see with this 2021 Altima SR with the 2-liter turbocharged VC variable compression engine, let's take it out for a drive and see how it performs. So first thing I noticed is this steering feel is really good. So very impressive for a vehicle in this segment. Definitely one of the best steering systems in the segment. But stepping onto this road, just stepping the gas about like a fifth of the way, barely any gas. You got plenty of low end torque. We're approaching this little twisty road, so we'll put it into manual third gear. Let's throw it into this turn. Super sharp turning, guys. Like, the steering is really impressive. And then coming out of the turn, we're at about 3,000 RPM, and there's some turbo lag, but it rips once the turbo kicks in. And the handling is great, guys. We're throwing this car into turns at pretty high speeds. But overall, that was barely any throttle, and this thing has a lot of pull. So let's step onto this road over here. Just regular daily acceleration, barely any throttle. There's going to be a little bit of turbo lag in the low RPMs, but as soon as that turbo spools up, it's gonna actually put you in your seat. It's not just going to accelerate; it'll accelerate hard. So very impressive acceleration in this car. So that's obviously why you go with this trim with the SR. You're not satisfied with the 2.5 liter standard engine. So more people will buy the 2.5 liter engine simply because it's lower in cost and more economical. But this is a bang for your buck sports sedan, like legitimately. And you can get this car with all-wheel drive. Vehicles in this segment usually you can't get with all-wheel drive. So all in all, very impressive vehicle. But again, one more little turn. We're not gonna go too fast, but just every day, the turn-in is so sharp. Like, as soon as you even think about turning the steering wheel, the car changes direction. And it feels so good in your hands too, especially with this perfect steering wheel. But coming up this hill, just dipping into it a little bit, we're accelerating up this hill pretty quickly at 1,500 RPM. So very impressive low end torque. All right, guys, so let's step onto this road over here. Again, we're gonna put it into manual mode, second gear, then we're gonna, okay, a little bit of turbo lag, but and you see it really pulls once the turbo kicks in. The turn in, my water bottle's flying, and coming out of the turn. Guys, this car handles phenomenally. So if you knew the speed that I just hit that turn at that made my water bottle fly, you would be really impressed with this car. So this car can seriously handle. Like, it's seriously impressive to me how good this car can handle. But we're gonna turn around real quick, continue this test drive, but we'll do a couple more tests on this vehicle. All right, guys, so the button that I mentioned on the shifter before, that activates sport mode. So let's do exactly that. Put the car into sport. Let's activate the paddle shifters, and let's step onto this road. Okay, on the gas. Woo! Very good pull, guys. And yeah, it definitely pulls past 60. Not that we went past 60 there, but it pulls past it. Let's drop it down to second. It doesn't let you. Okay, there you go. Turning it in. Super sharp, guys. And we're out. Woo! Very impressive acceleration and handling, guys. This is a sports sedan. This is no longer just a mid-size sedan. This is a mid-size sports sedan. Well, at least with this SR trim. It'll be interesting to see how the regular trims drive, but this SR trim is very impressive. And just driving around town, taking it to about 3,000 RPM and using the paddle shifters, it behaves like a traditional automatic transmission. So to the untrained eye, you probably won't even notice that this car is a CVT. So the fact that Nissan has perfected their CVTs, well, I wouldn't say perfected their CVTs, there's always room for improvement, but they've come along a very long way. So I drove vehicles from the, I guess, 2012 era, when Nissan was really starting to really push their CVT systems, and those vehicles, I'm not gonna lie, kind of sucked, because you would step on the gas and it would just hold its revs the whole time. It'll sound like a weed whacker, just because it's just holding the revs. It doesn't have any changes in torque, so you don't really feel like you're going as fast as you really are. I wasn't a fan of those early Nissans, but to see how far they've come, I'm very impressed. So I still would probably prefer a standard traditional automatic transmission, but if this is the compromise that you have to make, it's not a big deal. Lean into it, turbo spooled in. Oh my gosh, guys, this thing can rip. Like, seriously rip. I think it's faster than the K5 for sure faster than the K5 GT line. It'll be interesting to see how the K5 GT actually drives. It'll probably be a better comparison to this vehicle. But this car is sick. So it's definitely faster than the GT line, definitely faster than the Camry I drove, to be expected. The Camry with the upgraded engine will probably be just as fast as this, if not faster, but for what you get with this price tag, it's a great vehicle. Just dipping into in fourth. Ooh, low end torque is ridiculous, and you can hear that turbo whooshing. Yeah, so there may be turbo lag. I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely turbo lag. more turbo lag than a lot of vehicles that I've driven. But once that turbo spools up, guys, oh my gosh. So let's check out this turning radius. No body roll at all. Turning radius is great. It's even better than the Mirage that I drove. But we're coming out of here, second gear, coming out, about half throttle, and here we go, power, and it rips. Guys, this thing can seriously fly. So I want to do one on throttle, not on throttle, I'm sorry. So I want to do one full throttle acceleration off the line. So let's do that right now. We're going uphill, same uphill as we were in the Mirage. So let's slow down right here and see what this car can do. Okay, so first gear, just matting it to the floor. Go. So little lag, and this thing is now pulling. Yeah, guys, this thing has power. We're going uphill. So yeah, this thing pulls all the way to red line. So it does not fall in its face at all. It's gonna, as soon as the turbo spools up at around 2,000 RPM, below 2,000 RPM, there's gonna be lag. To be expected. This is a turbocharged car, but not a big deal, because with naturally aspirated engines, when they're 4 cylinders, there's usually not much power until like 4,000 RPM anyway. So you're not really making a compromise. If anything, you might actually think there's less lag than a traditional Altima. But anyway, let's step onto this road over here. Super impressed with the performance of this car. The steering is phenomenal. Phenomenal steering for, like, especially for this segment. The steering wheel, perfect steering wheel. Steering feel, borderline sports car. I think there's just as much steering feel in this car as my Camaro LT1 has in just tour mode. So in sport mode, my car probably has a little bit more steering feel, but the fact that we're even comparing those two cars right now, that's how good the steering system really is. In these seats, super supportive. When we're throwing it through the turns, you're not really sliding around at all. But let's put it back into just regular drive, turn off sport mode. So this car is super quiet once you're in regular drive. You don't hear that engine at all. But now we got some open road. Let's drop it back down to second and just do a quick pull. See how it lags? But as soon as it has like a second of lag, and then it just rips, guys. It's a fun car. Definitely impressed. But okay, stepping onto this road over here. Yeah, we're coming uphill right now, barely on the gas. We didn't even take it over 2,000 RPM, and we're at 45 miles per hour. So this thing has a lot of low-end torque. It has like really impressive low-end torque. As soon as you can get past that lag, there's a serious surge of power. But okay, we're just gonna keep throwing it around in these turns. The handle is absolutely fantastic, and the turning, I still can't get over how quick this car turns. So there's zero play in the steering wheel. Not a common thing for a vehicle in this segment. So a lot of vehicles in this segment have a lot of play in the steering wheel, because you're not selling the vehicle to be a sports car. You're selling the vehicle to be economical. You want the car to be easy to drive. You want the car to have a lot of space, and you want the car to have an affordable price tag. This vehicle does most of those things, but it also keeps the car fun to drive. That's the key. So if you want a family car, you don't want to compromise space. You don't want to go with a V8 muscle car in the American segment because you want to get more than 15 miles per gallon on practical driving. If that's who you are, I would definitely recommend this car for you. You're undercutting vehicles such as the top of the line Camrys, you're undercutting the top of the line Accords, and those vehicles don't even offer all-wheel drive. They also aren't as fun to drive either. They are higher praised, and their top of the line engines may make more power than this vehicle, but that's not a big deal. The fact that this vehicle performs the way that it does is definitely a reason to at least look into it. So you can compare vehicles. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you to only look at the Altima. Also check out the Accord, also check out the Camry, also check out the Sonata, check out the K5 GT, check out all those cars, guys, and definitely find whichever one you want. I'm just telling you that this is a good car to start looking at, because you can get a better deal on these cars compared to a lot of other vehicles simply because of volume. So, but anyway, regardless, I had a great time filming this video for you guys. Huge thanks to Jenkins Mitsubishi for making this video possible. Definitely check out their inventory. I know with this chip shortages, a lot of dealers aren't going to have full inventories, but that's not the case with Jenkins Mitsubishi. These guys are completely stocked. They're making deals left and right, and they love making deals, so they will work with you in terms of price. So great group of guys, definitely check them out. But that's about it, guys. I definitely enjoyed making this video. This car is super impressive. So of course the power is impressive, but the most impressive things in my opinion are the handling and the steering. So the steering, all from the steering wheel to the paddle shifters to the way the steering feels. Super impressive in my opinion. The engine, I knew it was going to perform well. I expected the SR trim with the upgraded engine to perform better than a standard Altima, so I'm not going to mention that as one of my surprises, but this handling is definitely surprising, and the steering definitely brings out the handling more, but super impressed with this car, guys. And remember, you're going to have high quality materials everywhere. So dashboard, soft leather, armrest, soft leather, upper part of the door panel, soft touch. So you're not making any compromises at all buying this car. I'm very impressed with it all around. But anyway, guys, please subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you like, what you don't like. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. But if you already subscribed, thank you so much. I have endless gratitude for you guys. Hopefully I can keep making videos that you guys like. Give me some suggestions on some cars you'd like to see too. I'll definitely do my best to try to get them for you guys. Obviously, with a low subscriber count, it's not as easy to get access to all the cars that I necessarily would want to access. But just give me some ideas and I'll definitely do my best to try to get them out for you guys. But that's about it, guys. I hope all of you have a great day.